Now, Derek said he wasn't going to embarrass Gordon. I'm going to do the complete opposite. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, a massive thank you for everyone coming here today. Everyone is looking absolutely superb. Special mention to the bridesmaids who are looking fantastic today. I think everyone can agree that little Rebecca, wherever she's gone, is looking absolutely beautiful. Jen, you're looking like 1 in a million today. Gordon, you look like you've been won in a raffle. Massive thank you to all the staff here today for helping put on such a great day. I heard that Lager is beautiful, so Ian Donaldson kindly said he'd happily get a drink later on, if you want one. As Derek had mentioned, we've all waited a long time for this. We didn't know when this was going to go ahead, but I can confirm that Giovanni Van Bronckhorst has returned to Rangers, and he is the new manager. Last time I gave a public speech was on my 18th birthday. On that occasion, Ian had to take the microphone off me. A few controversial songs had started to be sung, so I'll do my best to keep it civilised this time, to avoid Ian having to step in again. For those who don't know me, I am Stuart, and I am Gordon's younger brother. When he asked me to be his best man, along with Andrew, our older brother today, I was very privileged and proud to be asked. However, looking at some of his friends in attendance today, it was clear that we didn't have much competition. After much deliberation, it was decided that I would do the best man speech and Andrew would be the ring bearer. Andrew at one point was thinking about doing a rap for his best man speech, so it's probably for the best that he keeps quiet. If anyone wants to know the lyrics later on, feel free to ask him. Generous, caring, loyal, and a good brother. But that's enough about me. Growing up, Gordon always looked out for me. We did pretty much everything together, as he said. We were always playing sports. Countless hours were spent outside in the back garden playing football, before it was inevitably full time as someone, Gordon, had blazed a shot into the neighbour's garden and the ball was gone, or our pretend game of Dundee v St Mirren had resulted in a fight and we were both sent off by our parents and sent indoors. A lot of our time was also spent playing tennis, which resulted in only two ways. I had won and we were both happy we had a good game, or Gordon had won. I was accusing him of being a cheat and wouldn't speak to him for the next half an hour. And by the way, see that game in 2006, an absolute disgrace. Balls miles in. I was always known as the emotional one out of the three of us. I was always the crybaby of the family. By the way, I was close to tears there, what a speech. And there's only 3 occasions that I'm aware of where Gordon has actually shed a tear. One of which was when Gordon announced to me that he was going to propose to Jen. One was when little beautiful Rebecca was born. And the other time was when Christine told Gordon he wasn't allowed one last Sabutial game before his bed. To be fair to him, he was only 18 years old. So to summarise, I was the emotional child, Andrew was the angry one, and Gordon was the golden boy. Didn't put a foot out of line, or so you all think. My job today is to set the record straight and share a few of Gordon's finest moments. Granny, wherever you are, cover your ears. As most of you know, Gordon is quite a talented footballer. However, surprisingly, has a bit of a temper when playing football. May 2008. Gordon's team has conceded a late equaliser. Gordon is extremely unhappy with the referee. Gordon has just been shown a red card for telling him he knows where the referee lives, what car he drives, and that he will find him. I can confirm Gordon received a lengthy ban for this. May 2010. Gordon plays at Tynecastle Stadium, home of his beloved Heart of Midlothian for the first time. The Donaldson family are out in numbers coming to watch Gordon in a cup final. What happens next? Well, Gordon has received a straight red for headbutting an opponent. 21. Yes, only 4 months ago. Only 4 months ago. And he's a dad at this point. Strong tackle on an opponent sparks a 22-man brawl on the pitch. Red card received. By the way, there is evidence on YouTube of this incident for anyone interested. Gordon flying into a tackle, and before you know it, both teams are in. A few other interesting incidents where Gordon has maybe let himself down. Magaluf 2015. It cannot end well when the location is Magaluf. Gordon has always been a massive fan of Hart McLoughlin, as Derek had mentioned. Now this summer, Gordon has had an Empress City team holiday to Magaluf to wind down at the end of the season. Now one day, Gordon has maybe had one too many tipples. Easily done in Magaluf, easily done. And before you know it, some of the Hearts team has walked into the same pub as him. Now Gordon has become extremely carried away. He's in Magaluf, in the sun, on the lagers and spirits, and some of his idols are standing right in front of him. Now usually you'd maybe ask for a photo or have a quick chat with them, but no. Gordon strips off down to the scud and starts dancing around the pub. Thankfully, there is no YouTube footage of this incident. Another time, myself and Gordon were on holiday with friends in Portugal. Not a quiet holiday, wasn't it, gentlemen? Not a quiet holiday. One night we were on the Albufeira strip, and one of those wee toy dogs that you get, they're terrible. The ones that wind up and they start walking. One of them was being chucked about on the strip. Anyway, the toy dog has been launched up in the air. And Gordon has caught it first time on the volley. For those who know Gordon, he's got a good left foot. And he's caught the toy dog, sweet as a nut. And the battery pack part of the dog has struck an Uber windscreen. Instantly, myself and Gordon are like, oh no. Hands on the head. Then steps out the taxi driver. He's a big lad. Could I handle him? Absolutely not. The only thing on my mind at the moment is, did I buy medical insurance before this holiday? I'm maybe going to need it right now. Now, as a brother's duties, I need to look after Gordon, but here's this big UFC fighter right in front of us. Have I looked after Gordon again? Absolutely not. I've legged it down the strip. Luckily, I've turned around and Gordon has followed quickly with me. To sum up, myself and Gordon have done a lot together through life. We grew up playing sports together, we even travelled to Australia together, ticking off a life ambition of going to the location where Neighbours is set. We went on countless holidays together, and probably the best one of them all, we even went to see One Direction together. A great night in which people thought we were a couple. Growing up, myself and Gordon shared a room, our whole childhood. When myself and Gordon were younger, we would watch Match of the Day on a Saturday night, but we wouldn't find out the scores from during the day, so at night it was a surprise when we were watching the highlights come in. Now Gordon, when he was younger, always liked Man City, and when I was younger, I always liked Liverpool. When the two teams played each other and we were watching Match of the Day and we didn't know the score, it could get a bit hostile in our room. I was on the top bunk and Gordon was on the bottom bunk, and if either team had scored, things were getting launched from one bunk down to another. Usually Liverpool at that time, so I was usually launching things down to Gordon's bunk. Before, inevitably, Ian or Christine had heard a ruckus from downstairs and would come up, tell us to calm down or Match of the Day was going off. That wouldn't stop the silent rude gestures after them. I will always remember the moment that Gordon messaged me to say he was going on his first date with a girl called Jen. I was in Melbourne and I was lying in a double bed with Andy Greenhill. He was snoring next to me and I could only think of two things. Andy, please shut up. And who is this unfortunate poor girl going on a date with Gordon? It turns out the first date went well and there was a second and third date on the cards shortly after. So it seemed to be going pretty well. Gordon has always been a quiet, private lad, and one time Ian and Christine had actually gone away on holiday for a few nights, and when they had returned, they realised Gordon had actually moved out, moved in with Jen without actually telling anyone. When Gordon had told me he was going to propose to Jen, it was on the famous Carstorfen pub crawl that he mentioned. Gordon waited until we were 6 pubs down before telling me by which point he was intoxicated, and decided to tell me down a dark alleyway in Carstorfen. I am glad to say he chose a more romantic setting when he popped the question to Jen. We are delighted to welcome Jen into the family, not only because her cooking is unbelievable. By the way, Jen's business, Bacon at Heart, unbelievable cakes. Just put it out there, I want commission though. But seriously, we all see how happy you make Gordon. You're a great couple, and you're both wonderful parents to little Rebecca. It's a pleasure to have you to join the family. And something that happened that I haven't written here today, when you and Gordon had got married, I turned round to little Rebecca and she had the biggest smile on her face ever. And it's a moment I'll remember for the rest of my life. Gordon, it's a privilege to be your best man along with Andrew today, and also an honour to be able to call you my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to do a Gavin and Stacey and bring some toast, but I couldn't fit in this morning, so I was going to raise the toast, but last and not least, a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson.
Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson.